Okay, what's up, guys? This is Ashleigh Mayfield. She doesn't really need a big introduction. Most of you guys know who she is, and she has just been a really, she's just been an awesome person for me to have connected with. In the last, what has it been, 6-7 months? We've been thrown in a group chat together, and I just feel like it's just been awesome to be around people who push you in different ways. And Ashleigh's definitely one of those people. And I'm excited to learn from her tonight, to spend this time and just kind of have some of her wisdom. Just give it to us, girl. So Ashleigh, kind of tell us about, I want to know, I know about, debt free. So make sure you touch on that too. But just kind of what your life looked like before you joined this business.
Yeah, definitely. I am so fired up. Thank you so much, Kelsey. You're just phenomenal. And I always look forward to getting to know you a little bit more every time we can get together. That Blue, y'all, she keeps me in check. She keeps the fun in the house. Y'all know what I'm saying? But we're going to start this strong because Kelsey has given me full permission to be Ashleigh Mayfield. How many y'all excited about that? So I'm not going to start until I see some more cameras on, because I'm taking an hour out of my night. Y'all know I could be loving on my man right now because it's 10 p.m. my time. Y'all know what I'm talking about, red light special. So I'm going to wait till some of you guys turn your cameras on and show some respect to a snack, all right? I come on here looking all crazy like Kelsey. So thank you. I appreciate you guys turning your cameras on. They can be pointed at your ceiling. I don't care, but let's show some respect. All right. All right. Thank you, Veronica. I see that. Veronica said, oh, ceiling sold. All right, cool. So my name is Ashleigh Mayfield. Feels really freaking good to say I'm an ambassador diamond, you guys. How many of y'all know this business is not easy and this business is not simple? Okay. I joined May 24th, 2016. Prior to It Works, I was a retail manager. My husband is an ordained pastor. He was on staff, and we were both square pegs and round holes. We were married for 9 years. How many of y'all drop a 1 in the chat if you live for income tax time? Round and round and round. And every income tax, we're like, we're going debt free. We're going to go debt free. Woohoo. Okay. And we didn't. And so I followed someone for 18 months. Y'all, I did not like a thing and I did not comment. So those of you that are like, this isn't working for me, I need to throw in the towel. Okay. You might have an Ashleigh Mayfield out there that is watching you, that is waiting. That is waiting. Okay. And it took me 18 months to even acknowledge anything that my enroller was doing. And I actually joined as a loyal customer, and 2 days later paid $50 to cancel and joined as a distributor. And I joined with the intention of making an extra $200 to $300. I had already quit my full-time job as a retail manager about 5 to 6 weeks prior. And I was just looking for a stream. I was only looking for $200 to $300. I looked Jason dead in the face, said, I'm not making 500. Like, who does that, right? But I will make 200. And guys, I hit the ground running. My blue was so out of control when I joined. I am like 70% red, but my blue was like bad blue, okay? I was very emotionally driven. I was in a place of life where I was extremely broken, lacked confidence. I'm sure from the outside you couldn't tell. I maybe posted on Facebook like once a day. Like I don't know. I was a really, really, really broken person. And so only $200 to $300 is what I wanted, but I watched my enroller go on the cruise in 2015. For those of you young Thundercats that have been around for a minute, okay? And so in 2016, I joined and there was a cruise happening. And I just said, what do I got to do to get on the cruise? Okay. We just celebrated 9 years of marriage, or we were at like 9.5. And I had never been on a cruise in my life, but we had talked about doing it at some point and we didn't have the money. And so she said, if you go Ruby, you'll almost guarantee your spot. And I had 2 full calendar months to do that. I didn't work my first week in the business. All I did was cry. I was so like, everybody hates me in my world because I joined network marketing. I said I'd never do it. And I just focused on the cruise. It wasn't about the rank. It wasn't about the money. I just wanted, it was FOMO. It was like, I just want to get on this cruise. So I went Ruby by the end of day 60. I got on the cruise. The next month I got my husband Ruby, which was just ignorance on fire. Like everyone talks about, man, I was just doing everything my enroller said. Like, what's next? What's next? What's next? I was hungry. And then I had no idea what I wanted. Has anyone ever been like that? Can you drop a 2 in the chat? Like you got what you wanted and then you're like, oh, I don't know what I want next. And then you like start digressing, right? Because you tie and you die. I'll probably hit on that at some point. And so I did that and I sat at Ruby for almost 9 months. suck city. I joined in May of 16. In December, every day in December, I wanted to quit. I was literally a sneeze away from quitting. And I'm so grateful that that red in me is strong. And I was prideful because I was like, I'm not going to go on social media and say I'm going to quit. I refused to do it. And that's the only thing. Jason even sat me down and said, I mean, my husband, I wouldn't be here without him. He got me into this. He's been told me for years to do network marketing. But long story short, he's like, I don't want you to quit, but I can't see you like this. So if you want to quit, I'll support you, but I don't want you to. And I was like, and the only thing that held on was I committed a year to myself. I committed, and I was like, I am not going to go back on my word. And so I started in January 2017, call it new year, new me, whatever you want to call it. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go all in. I hadn't gone all in, and I'm going to go all in. And I started doing personal development. So when you ask me how I went ambassador in March of this year, it started in January 2017. I started doing personal development. I stopped expecting my team to show up. I realized that you cannot motivate a turtle. You can't motivate anybody. It's bullcrap. Okay. And I'm shooting straight with y'all tonight. So if you don't like it, you might want to watch the replay. I realized it starts in me. You can't lead others until you lead yourself. And I was not a leader because I was not leading myself. Leader is not defined by a pay, a title, a rank. It is defined by what you accomplish and what action you take. And I wasn't taking action for myself. So I decided to change in January of 17. I went to conference. I left conference a low paid Ruby. In 5 months, I went double diamond, and my husband was my diamond. And I went double diamond in July of 2017. And I woke up in August and I said, my whole business is going to fall apart because I bulldozed over my entire team to get to what I wanted. And no one was with me. And I lost a lot of good people. And that's when I discovered the color personality. If you heard me talk about that in Austin. And I knew something had to change. And I made a decision in August of 2017 that I would not promote until my tribe was ready. And that was one of the hardest decisions I made as a red. But October, we decided to go debt free. The red in me knew that it was going to, we did a Facebook Live, me and Jason, November 5th, 2017. The red in me knew like, oh, this is going to be good. My business is going to explode. The blue in me was like, can I go crawl in a hole and die? Because here I am, I've made it to double diamond. I've made up for lost time with the money. We had tickets to Disney World, annual passes. We were going to the movies. I was going shopping. And now I got to be exposed and say, I've got $63,801.99 in debt and I'm a fraud. And something powerful happened. I decided I was not going to focus on Ashleigh Mayfield, and I decided I was going to get my money right. And when you honor God with your money, I don't care if you believe in Jesus, I do. So we're going to talk about Jesus tonight, okay? So when you honor God with your money, when you trust and faithful in the little, you're going to get the big. And we went 100% debt free in 6 months. I thought it'd take us 12 months, $63,801.99. And I did it on double diamond pay. I started in November with about a $3,000 paycheck. And I ended, my highest double diamond pay was about $12,000. Tell me God ain't real. Okay. And, because I made that decision in August of 2017, and because in January 17, I decided to do personal development, I've never missed a day of personal development since January 2017. That's how you guys know my name. Because last year I went from double to triple to prez and to ambassador. And in 11 months, I went from double to ambassador. And it's because of the decisions that I made in August of 17 and January of 17. And now life is amazing. I just got my 2.0. I took it Ruby last month. I'm pushing to go diamond this month. And it has not been easy. There have been a lot of tears. There have been a whole heck of a lot of failures. And there have been a lot of people that quit. I have failed a ton. The only thing is I have not quit on myself. I quit one day for 4 hours. And it was like the day before conference in 2018. And my friend talked me up, but my husband was convinced for like 4 hours I was done. I was like, I'm not even showing up to conference. I hate my team. Screw them. Like I was done. And, so we've all had tough moments. But this has been the best ride. And I'm so grateful. Jesus brought me in this business. And I just believe that he's opened the door in every way that I've asked.
I love that so much. Like there's like literally, I feel like I've heard your story before, but like hearing it now, like I wrote down so many things. And it's funny, hearing you say like the 5 months you went Ruby to double and then 7 months you went diamond or double to ambassador. Cause there's things that I think to myself sometimes it's like, dang, like I've made like 90% of my money. I feel like I've built that income in like 90 to 180 day spurts, like of just putting it down. That doesn't mean the other times I'm not working, but like just making this the like priority behind Jesus and your husband and your kids, but like making this the priority, I think it can be, if you choose this for 6 months consistently over going out on a boat, over going, you know what I mean? It's like, dang,
Absolutely.
that is compounded over time. And just seeing.
I said no so much last year to good things, you guys, to good things. We went debt free. We canceled our passes. We did everything to go debt free. Okay. We went like rice and beans, beans and rice. We canceled trips. We canceled our annual passes. We literally humped it and we did it. So when we went debt free, we're like, well, we don't get everything back that we said no to. So we got the annual passes. Guess what? I think I went to Disney World like a couple times. There were like, my husband was taking the kids once a week and I had to say no because there was a greater purpose. And guess what? A lot of this year, I've been able to say yes because I said no last year. But I reached the top of the company and I haven't sat back fat and happy. I got my 2.0, immediately built it to Ruby, immediately building it to Diamond. Why? Because I know the things I have to say no this year, I'll be able to say no, yes to next year, right? You got to let go of the good for the great. And I promise every single one of you has a great in store, more than what you're living right now.
Yep. And so I love that. And so really understanding like it's not forever. And I think that that's like a big thing that I have to personally remind myself of, is because I'm like, I can sometimes rationalize and be like, oh, well, I don't want to work my business this way forever. I don't want it to take away time from my family, or I don't want it to do this and I don't want it to do this. Bro, it's for 6 months. Like it's for 6 months, like in the same energy that you're putting into procrastinating, you could have already been productive with.
Yep.
And I have to tell myself that all the time. And that's something that, you know, I mean, it's hard because I'm blue. So I always want to have fun. And so I'm like, okay, but my red has to come out and just say, you know, this is why I'm doing it. Look at the bigger picture. The other thing I love that you said is, and I want to touch on this because I think this is a huge thing that people have to adjust to, right? Really, when you're going from Ruby to double, you can kind of be like, okay, I'm going. And I'm deciding that I'm going when I'm going. And so when you get ready, when you do the personal development, you become ready to be that double diamond. Then the shift happens because you have your team. You have a team at that point. And so for what I'm hearing from your story, it's like there's two parts, right? The first part was your personal growth when you started in January 2017. You went those 5 months, went double. Okay, that growth happened. And then there was a whole separate like leg of growth that had to happen from that 7 months from double to ambassador, where you said, you know what, screw this. I don't want to be at the top alone. I can't, and doing it alone will burn me out. And so you just basically said, I'm not promoting until my team is ready. So can you kind of expand on what that looks like? Because I think that that's such an easy, it rolls off the tongue. I'm not going to promote till my team's ready. It rolls off the tongue, super simple. But in reality of it being like, okay, but am I really giving myself an excuse? Or how do I know that I'm saying that my team's not ready when really I'm not the one that's really getting ready. I'm not preparing myself. Because I think that's a tough line.
First, I want to correct you. You keep saying 7. It was 11.
Oh, 11. Sorry.
It's okay. But I do want to say this, you guys, your skill set, or excuse me, the money will not exceed your skill set. How many of you have ever had struggles, have had dips, have been demoted in rank? Let's all be honest on here. Drop a 3 in the chat. I'm gonna drop a 3 right now. Okay. First time I ever lost rank was December. I was paid as a triple instead of a prez. Okay. The money will never exceed the skill set. So here's the deal. If you get some distributors that are popped underneath you, if you get a leg that's popped underneath you, because you're running and you're enrolling, if you right now are an emerald, but you don't have an emerald mindset, or you don't have a diamond mindset, baby, you're going to lose that. If you're on here and you're a diamond or you're a double and you don't have a double or a triple mindset, you're going to start digressing. So this is what I would love. I do this exercise on every Zoom and it is always so enlightening. I would love to know, and I want you guys just to be honest. Don't be like $100,000. Like we all want that. Okay. What is the next check that you would like to open? Is it $2,000? I got $50,000 sitting right here. Okay. Is it, and this is just mine. I don't want this between me and my husband. He is presidential. I want this to be mine. So is it 2,000? Is it 5,000? Just be transparent. All right, let me check this. Kelsey, you had to go one up. You heard me say 50 and you're like, I'm at 55. I'm just kidding. So 4,000, 35, 17. I love that. 2, 15,000. I love that. 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Holla, Connie, 17 coming in hot. Okay, I love this. I love these. 1,000, that's perfect. I love that. 2,000, 10,000. I love that. Now I want you to be transparent with me. How many books have you finished in the last 90 days? Finished. Thank you, Brittany, for your honesty. 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, 0, 0. Lots of zeros and ones. There's a level of arrogance in that. You thinking you're entitled to $2,000 a month from social media. You thinking you're entitled. You can't even go into corporate America right now and get a $10,000 check. But you think you can with self-development? I'm gonna go ahead and put my Mario hat on. This is what the tribe knows when I start spitting red fire. How arrogant is that? That's pretty arrogant. Can we all just like be honest? That's pretty arrogant. So you think you don't need to change. You think you don't need to grow, but you can become someone with abundance, someone whose capacity is great, but you couldn't go do that in corporate America. So you don't need to change here. How about when you start pouring into yourself and you start becoming the person your results require? Maybe that is when God will see you are serious, because you couldn't handle a $5,000 check if it hit you in the face. I couldn't handle a $12,000 check because when I started debt free, it was $3,000. Why? Because that was my freaking capacity. So if your capacity, if you're a diamond paid as a ruby, that is your capacity. There is no way around it. That's what you can handle. You can say, but my team left and they took a leg with them. Let's examine your leadership. How I have gotten to be ambassador is I always take extreme ownership. I have never said, well, this person's not working or my team sucks or blah, blah. Kelsey, correct me if I'm wrong. If I've ever complained about my tribe, it's always me. I'm always in control. I am the mother trucking captain of my ship and I'm gonna figure it out. And if someone's not working, guess what? This isn't corporate America. I don't have to work with them. Hello? Guess what I had to do as a retail manager? I had to work with every Tom, Dick, and Harry that was hired because they did just enough not to get fired and they got paid just enough to stay. And oh, that ticked me off because I had people who were doing above and beyond the call of duty, but I couldn't promote them because I didn't have a position open. Do you realize that is one of the greatest benefits outside of residual income that we have in this business? But you'll never be able to recruit higher caliber of people to replace people if you're not growing your mindset. You want an Ashleigh Mayfield? You want a Kelsey Thornton? You want a Taylor Kaufman? You better start building yourself, baby. Because we're looking at the Stephanie Dunns. We're looking at the people that are blowing and going that want to do something, that are making an impact. You want a higher caliber of person? Boo-boo, you better start growing your mindset. Because you can't handle the people and you can't handle the money right now. And there's a level of arrogance thinking you're entitled to something without growing your mindset. And I had to come to that hard conclusion in January 2017.
And that's hard. That's hard.
I mean, it's not fun.
It's not fun to put the finger back. You know, it's like how many people want to take before and after pictures? How many people want to take the before? Nobody.
No, nobody.
This is the before of you getting better, though. Is you have to look in the mirror and say, dang, maybe what Ashleigh is saying is true. Maybe this whole self-development thing, maybe there's something to it, right?
You are crazy if you're not. There is zero excuse. Zero. I will not bend. I will not bend on it. But I'm so busy. But, my dog went to the hospital. I don't care. I don't care. because and this has nothing to do with business, you guys. We got to think bigger than this business. When we start focusing on It Works, which by the way is the best company out there, don't get it twisted. But when we start focusing on It Works, do you guys know how small you're playing? This is your life. I need to grow myself because my husband deserves the best version of Ashleigh Mayfield. My kids deserve the best mom. My friends deserve the best version of me. Jesus deserves the best version of me. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, my business deserves me to show up every day and to be ready. You don't got to get ready if you stay ready. Your life deserves the best version of you. Don't deprive them or yourself. This is a life issue.
It is. It is. And I think so many people get so caught up, and that's why it's like, comparison, there is a healthy level of comparison. Like, you want to have something that you're seeing that's bigger than you.
Absolutely. Like, I love Kelsey, but don't get it twisted. If I got to stomp on her throat, I'm gonna do it. She gonna stomp on my throat too. Don't get it twisted.
And the thing is that it's a level of, hey, there is somebody out there that I am trying to be like in this space and be like in this space. Hey, I really love the way that Cammie Pentecost treat people. So I want to take how she treats people this way. But I also want to take Stephanie Dunn's level of discipline. And I also want to take Pam Souter's aura when she walks in. I want to know how she does that. Like, there are things that I've studied with people, and there are ingredients from each person that I admire that I want to take.
Absolutely.
You guys. And I encourage you guys, like, who do you want to be? That's a huge question, but like, figuring out like, what is that for you? And you might not know it yet, but that's the first answer that you have to have is, I don't know. Because if you admit you don't know, then guess what happens? You start figuring it out, and you start saying, I'm trying to figure this out of who I want to become, because that's so much bigger than the paycheck, because the paycheck will follow that, right? And that's what self-development is all about. Okay, so give us some names. I know self-development is different than for everybody. Everybody takes it differently, but what are some things that have really impacted you that you feel like this was a game changer at this level, or this was a game changer at this level, and what are you going to do now?
I'm only going to share two things because I absolutely hate this question, and here's why. Because a lot of you, part of my journey has been figuring this out for myself. Part of Kelsey's journey has been figuring it out for herself. And oftentimes we get on these meetings and it's always like, Ashleigh, what books do you read? Ashleigh, I don't want you to be me. That's not the point of this. People don't duplicate, systems do. I don't need you to go read what I read because it made an impact. Because I am telling you right now, like, I believe in Jesus. My husband is an ordained pastor, okay? And I believe that God opened this door for me. Therefore, I believe he's given me the tools that I have needed along the way. My tools don't look like your tools. You need to figure you out. And that's why sometimes you got to like if you're not doing any self-development, then take a recommendation from someone. But you got to figure out what self-development you need. You might need to increase negotiating, or I need to increase communication. You get what I'm saying? Like, it is apples and oranges. But there were two things that where I was, really got to say that clear, that made an impact for me. The first Audible I ever listened to was recommended by not only my enroller, but also my ambassador, Diamond. And they had no idea they recommended the same thing. And so I was like, okay, Jesus, you clear. Like, it took me 6 months to get over myself to actually listen. But Loving What Is by Byron Katie, that helped me out a lot emotionally. And then the second thing, whenever I felt like my business was going to fall apart right when I hit Double Diamond, it was just a John C. Maxwell, How Successful People Lead. And both of those things led me to other things. Like, it was kind of like the gateway drug that led me to other things that really helped me evolve and grow. But guys, I think creating the habit is so important. So many people get caught up on the how. You guys, if you need to know where to start with John C. Maxwell. Like, do something with leadership. You know what I mean? But just read all the books. Read all the books. Like, you're not going to go wrong with them. And ask yourself what you need. Go to Amazon. If you need to connect with people, go to Amazon. Type that in, connection leadership books. If you need to increase your negotiating skills, if you need more leadership, if you need to know how to love on people, if you need to know how to inspire, guys, there's books on everything. Go Google it, figure it out what you need.
Yeah. One thing that I wanted to share while we're on this topic was that there was something I was listening to today, and it said, stop trying to do things, just become them, right? So stop trying to just read 4 books, just become a reader. and you're going to read 4 books, right? And so that's what I want you guys to really think about that, because a lot of you are like, okay, well, I'm reading, I'm doing this. But like, you don't identify yet as a reader or as somebody who does self-development. Like for me, it's just like brushing my teeth. Like it's just part of what I do. It's not something that I feel like, okay, check, like not every day am I like taking my husband's stuff to the dry cleaner. So I have to put that on my to-do list. I don't need to put self-development on my to-do list. That's not something that's on my to-do list. That's who I am. It's a part of what I do, right? It's waking up. It's brushing my teeth. I don't really comb my hair, as you guys can tell, but like whatever you do in the morning, like that's it. So the thing is if you don't like reading, there's audibles.
Yeah, get Audible. There's no excuse. Get a podcast. Just create a habit. That's what's just create a habit. Like I hate discipline. I'm sure Kelsey's the same, being that blue. Like your blue is probably a little bit stronger than mine, but I'm still a second blue, you guys. I don't like accountability. I don't like discipline. I feel like a caged dog, and I'm like, like we're the rebels, okay? But it's no excuse. This is a life issue at this point. Figure it out. I don't like talking to people face to face. Shocker. I know. I don't like blitzing. I don't like doing in-home parties. So you know what I had to do? I had to get on Facebook Lives. I had to get on video because I have to be in front of people somehow. And so if you don't like one way, figure it out another way. But there's no excuse not to do it. Because again, this is a life thing. This is a life thing.
And it's kind of like saying like, well, I don't like yelling at people, so I'm not going to have kids. It's just a part of it. Like, it's just a part of it. Like, you're not going to love every single thing about it, but you can find a way to do it that's going to give you what you want. And the whole goal is just to get better. And you're going to, honestly, I didn't like reading. Okay. There was like, I didn't. And then I found something that I like to read. Okay. So the thing is you probably just don't like reading because you haven't found the right thing to read. And so like, I know that when there's a book that I'm like into, like the amount of time that I find is ridiculous. I'm like, where did all this time come from? Oh, it's because it's a priority, because I made it that, because I was so into it and interested in it. And so once you find something that just clicks with you, you're going to be amazed at what happens. I mean, I did that with Can't Hurt Me, which is another great book by David Goggins, but I was like listening to it and I could not stop. I felt like I was like listening to a movie. It was so good. But that's something that's super important. Okay. So my next question is like, is that me? Okay. So my next question is what does it look like when you are signing up a new person, getting them on board? Like, do you have something that's different per person and feel it out? Or is it kind of like a same systematic thing?
Nope. Everything, like one thing that we did, I did not do this up until Dallas of last year. I got this tip from another top earner, and she said that she does a new distributor training every week. And that's what we do every Tuesday night. I launch all of our distributors in the tribe the same. And I just go over what it means to be a loyal customer, I go over the color personality, I go over Ruby chart, and we just launch them all the same. It's probably one of the only times that I'm going to be able to touch everybody. I'm not going to be we just crossed over 2,300 distributors in the tribe. And so it's impossible for me to talk to everyone every single day. But I sure as heck make sure that I get my face in front of everyone and just let them know who I am and get them familiar with our systems. But that's really what we do. Like someone just asked me, my girl Kanani, I don't know if she's on here. She just asked me this weekend when I was with her in Gaboctopus. And she's like, are you always going to do Tuesday nights? Are you ever going to delegate that? And I was like, heck yeah, I'm always going to do Tuesday nights. I love it. But guys, it's so important how you launch a distributor. I think it's just important that you're proactive. I think that's the number one thing people miss is how many of us, like drop a 4 in the chat if this is you. It's not to embarrass you, but you enroll someone and then you're like, okay, let me know when you're ready to start. Let me know. Let me know. Like those words will take you to like business suicide. And I don't use that term lightly, but I'm making a point here. Okay. Like you're shooting holes in your boat by saying, let me know. They ain't never going to let you know, boo boo. You ain't never going to have someone that's like, okay, Ashleigh Hall, I am so excited. I can't wait. I want to do my launch post. I want to get my shopping spree. Let's go. They're never going to say that. And I think it's just so important that whether you're talking to a potential, whether you've enrolled someone, that you are the captain of the ship and that you're proactive and that you're not waiting for someone to tell you what you're going to do. You tell them what you're going to do. You know what I mean? Oh, well, if I enroll Ashleigh and she's like, and I'm like, hey, when can we connect? And she's like, well, I'm really busy tonight and tomorrow night. I'll let you know. I'm going to be like, okay, what about Thursday? I'm free Thursday. What time do you have Thursday? Now I'm gonna let you know what I'm gonna do. If Ashleigh was enrolling with me and says, oh, I don't get paid until Friday, I'll reach out to you on Friday. I'm going to say, perfect. I'm following up with a ton of people. I'll make sure I message you by noon if I haven't heard from you. I am always telling people what I'm going to do. I don't care if she's like, oh, I'll message you first thing in the morning. I'll be like, perfect. I'll message you in the morning if I haven't heard from you. I'm always telling them what I'm going to do. That way it's not awkward when I'm following up. How many of you have the awkwardness whenever I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do because you didn't tell them what you were going to do. And now I'm like a liar if I don't follow up or if I don't touch base or if I don't X, Y, Z, insert whatever, right? So I think the biggest thing, just no matter what you do, is you just tell people what you're going to do, and it's just less awkward. You gauge what they do. Hey, first, we're going to do this. I focus on the shopping spree. Let's get you a win under your belt. We just got to get 4 people. That's it. You know what I mean? And then it's just a matter of making sure they understand what it means to be a customer and taking action. It's that simple.
Yeah, I love it. I love how simple it is. And sometimes I think we all forget how little we do when we first started and how much we expect people to know, like when they first start.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and I have to remind myself that I'm like, oh, LC, like I forgot to tell you, that means loyal customer. You know, I mean, there's just such little things that we have to remember. So you do the training, and then do you have like, so then you have, sorry. So then you have people, like, let's say I'm on your team, I enroll somebody, I put them on your Tuesday night training. Then from then, what is really like, what do you cover versus, okay, now their enroller is supposed to cover that piece? Or what's
I mean, I think that we all really kind of focus on the same thing. Like we keep the main thing the main thing. I mean, a new distributor doesn't need to know 15 definitions in the compensation plan. And I think it's really important. We do a lot of coaching to colors. So I think it's really important knowing that like reds want to run, but they're also going to be stubborn and not listen. And like, I'm just not afraid to address things. Like blues are probably the first to join, first to quit. They gonna ghost you. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow. Boop, and you're not gonna talk to them for 2 weeks, right? A yellow is probably just gonna be really like, they need instruction. Like you have to know these things. Greens, you're gonna overprocess them and they're paralyzed. Like, so I think it's just important that you know who your people are. But again, you're just like everybody. It's just about, let's just focus on those 4 customers. Like, that's really what our main thing is getting people that shopping spree, because it's a win-win-win all the way around. And the way that we teach fast start bonuses and cabs is when you help them get their shopping spree, you're going to get what you want. And that way, like you're working with your person. For those of you that are diamond and above and know what cabs are, you're working with your person. But at the same time, like you're helping your person win, and you're not just, my enroller was really like, just place people for money and blah, blah. You know, you don't have to launch them. And that was just something that really grind against the grain of who I was. And she's no longer in the company. But it really grind against the grain of who I was, because I didn't want to just use people and make them feel like a dollar sign or make them feel like I want to spend time with them. And obviously now I'm at a level I can't spend time with every single person every single day. But I think it's just a matter of making sure you have that layered leadership. But again, we really just focus on that shopping spree. That's that first win. But we do teach everyone what it means to go Ruby. And we do last month was the first dip we had tribe wide. I don't remember how many. I think we had like 15 or 16 rubies, but up until then we were averaging about 50 a month. And so, I mean, the dip we had last month, if that's a dip, like I'll take that all day. You know what I mean? Like it was still a good month. Stuff was still high, but obviously we hit big momentum January through April, and we were averaging about 50 rubies a month. That's kind of our goal that I want to see every month. That's like my bar now that I look towards and that I kind of gauge. So we're just pushing people to Ruby. That's really the big thing.
I love that. I love how simple it is just with the shopping spree, because I do think that that's like it's like just a win for everybody, like you said. Okay. What are your best tips on maintaining a business in summer? I mean, you live in Florida now, so it's like you have like a year-round summer, but we have a big Midwest team, I would say, where we don't have that luxury. And so it's like I feel like the first day there's like a nice day, I'm like, I'm going to go have some margaritas on a porch somewhere. But, and I just feel like, it can just kind of easily become this snowball downhill. Do you have like any tips or things that you say during like the summer months, or are you kind of like, it's a business, do it?
That's kind of how I feel. So I'll be transparent. Like this summer, I'm eager to see how it goes. Obviously, there's some strategic and tactical things, on the back end that I'm floating around in my brain. But summer has never been my hard spot in my business. Summer has always grown. This is my fourth summer I'm walking into. And again, last month we hit a little bit of a dip, but this month we've already come back a little bit ripping and roaring. Volume's down a little bit, which makes sense because we're all distributor focused. Shout out everyone coming to Green Carpet. If you missed your ticket, you lucked out. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. You better just show up at the door and hope they let you in. Right? Because that's what I did my first Green Carpet. I drove 3 hours cross state, stood in line for an hour, waiting for someone to say, you get a seat. And I paid at the door. But so November and December has always been my dip in business. And so for me, I think number one, if it hasn't shaken me or rattled me personally, obviously when you hit a dip, it's never fun. But I come from retail management background where there were months where people were not in the store because it was summer. Like summer months, it was low, but then back to school, it was ripping and roaring. September, October, meh. But then November, December, January, sales are freaking through the roof, right? So I'm used to things fluctuating, so I don't think I freak out too much. But what I will tell you is that is no excuse to not fill out at least the steps to success. Now, I have my own personal belief on mass recruiting. We don't have to go into that. And I'm against mass recruiting. But my non-negotiable is 2 steps to success a month. Now, there's some months I've done 3, but 2 is non-negotiable. And if that means it normally takes me, just throwing out examples, if it normally takes me like in February, talking to 5 people and getting 1 distributor, that might mean now because it's summer, I got to talk to 25 to get 1. But you better believe I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get my minimum 6 because it's a non-negotiable and I'm disciplined. And I think a lot of times the biggest thing, it doesn't matter what it is because you can exchange summer for something else, right? You can exchange summer for Game of Thrones. You can exchange summer for what a football season. Okay. Like, I don't know. I'm thinking of things on Sunday nights because that's when my team Zooms are. So we're always fighting these things. But what I will tell you is it's all about discipline and it's all about you not lying to yourself. Go ahead and drop a 5 and be super transparent if you let yourself off the hook. If you're like, it's okay, I'll do it later. And then you won't. Okay. And that's what they were going to do and how they're going to do. Get it, Heather? That's where, I would just say, what accountability do you have in your life? And I've been doing things lately that's a little bit more accountability and it's grinding against the grain of who I am because I love, someone asked me one time, will you be my accountability partner? I was like, heck no. And they weren't in my tribe, but I was like, heck no, I can't even hold myself accountable. Yeah, I'm just driven. That's like my discipline does not come from my blue. It definitely comes from my red. I get laser focused and I want what I want. And that is the only thing some days that keeps my foot grounded. But I think we let ourselves off the hook too much. I think we're like, oh, I wanted 15 host to post, but I did 7. Okay, I'm going to go buy a cruise now, celebrate. Like, no, you need to sit yourself in the corner. You need to work like Mark Pentecost is watching over your shoulders. Right? Like you need to hold yourself accountable. And I think that, you can just let yourself off the hook all the time. Cool. Then don't piss and moan when your check drops. Don't piss and moan when it's XYZ. It's the people who don't get the job done, whether it takes 10 potentials to get the job done or 200 potentials to get the job done. It's always those people that don't get the job done that are the first to piss and moan. I'm sorry, but you see your check and you're like shocked by the results. You're shocked when the check goes down. Like, boo-boo. If you are not making $500 in this business minimum, you are not filling out your steps to success. No ifs, ands, buts about it. $300 in fast start bonuses. And when you launch those people effectively, you will make over $200 in commissions. There's no way around it. But like somehow we don't do the work, but we've lied to ourselves because we're good at lying to ourselves, right? But then we're like, oh, Kelsey, oh my God, why did my check drop? What? Right? And you're like, really? You didn't show up to a single Zoom because The Bachelor was on or because your dog had a birthday party or because your kid was sick. I'm sorry, last time I checked, we're $10.99. You get to take your sick kid to work every day, right? But like, we don't do these things, but then we're shocked by the results. And listen, I am a bear of very little brain, negative 37% green. Okay, Kelsey, I know she can feel me on that. We resonate with that. Okay. Like, it's not rocket science, you guys. You show up consistently, you show up consistently and effectively, you show up consistently, effectively, and you're growing, it equals money, 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 money. So you can't be shocked by it.
Yep. And I've never heard a top leader complain about their check. Ever. Because the only
no, and the ones that are, listen to me, the ones that are ain't working. The one I am telling you right now, take it to the bank. If someone gets on Facebook Live and says, I left my company because XYZ, they were a lifetime rank, being paid a ruby, baby. I'll go on conference and speak about it. Okay. People, but I was at the top of the company. I was a presidential diver. Well, boo, last time I checked, your pay said ruby. Yep. So you just got to do the work.
Yeah. And I just think that it's like, the crazy thing is because I was that person, you guys. And that's what like is crazy is that I was looking at my check feeling like, okay, I got a bonus and I got this money. I'm nervous about the future. Okay. And I heard this somewhere, but there's 4 things that you have to believe in. And if you don't believe in one of 4 of these things, you just, that's why your check isn't where you want it to be, or your business isn't where you want it to be. Belief in yourself, belief in network marketing, belief in this business, and belief in the products. If you believe in all 4 of those things, you're going to go where you want to go. Okay. But if your business is off, it's from one of those things. And so for me at that time when I was complaining out of fear. I was complaining from a place of, I'm scared that this isn't real. I'm scared that I can't make more than I'm wanting to make, whatever the case might be. But you guys, now if my check drops, because shocker, it does drop. Okay. My check actually does go down. Okay. And it goes up and it goes down and it goes up and it goes up and it goes up and it goes down. What happens is the only person I look at is myself.
Yep. There you go.
I only look at myself, and I'm going to tell you, a 99% of the time, I've already told my husband what's going to happen because of me, because of my.
Guys, you can't lie to yourself. Like, we try, but we know you know you're not doing it.
And right? it's honestly, as bad as it sucks in that moment, it's very empowering when you move forward, realizing, hey, you know what? If I actually know that it's me, I can fix it.
Yes.
If I think it's other people, I'm going to blame other people and I'm going to be a victim. And I saw somebody post something the other day. It said, if you are choosing to remain where you are, you're no longer a victim, you're a volunteer. You're volunteering to be there still. So if you're sitting here complaining about the same sorry people on your chart that you were talking about 4 months ago, but you're not willing to get up and go recruit new people and train them properly and do all that, then you're volunteering to have the same chart.
That's right. And when it's 100%, or what do I say? It's 100% up to you. So you're 100% in control. Yep. When I'm always in control, sometimes we like to throw around management and control. Those are not bad terms. Micromanaging is bad. Being a control freak is bad. But there is a level of management you have to have on your business. There is a level of control you have to have. Okay. Like, I know we have 0 drama in our tribe. If you're in our tribe, you can call me out right now if I'm lying in the chat. Go ahead and call me out. We have 0. Why? Because I have a level of control. I don't let crap fly. When someone starts slinging mud, I'm up in their DM like, hey, boo, what's going on? We need to have a talk. I ain't afraid to have confrontation. I'm not. Why? Because I'm always in control. Because I set the bar. I set the pace. I lead the pack, right? But guys, you're not shocked by anything you do or you don't do. And so if you want to have a successful business through the summer, it might take a little bit more effort. It might take 10 times more effort. But the work always produces results. And if you don't have results, you got to have an unadulterated conversation. You got Michael Jackson. I'm starting with the man in the mirror, baby. Okay? I just went to Vegas. I saw the Michael Jackson show. It was amazing. But listen, like, it starts with you. And when you're always in control, you can fix it. That's what I love. It's a mindset issue. Baby, you can fix that. It's a recruiting issue. You can fix that. It's self-development. You can fix that. You don't like working with this person, like Kelsey said, go recruit someone else. You can fix that. It's fixable. But when you start blaming other people, you just make it excuses and you being lazy at that point. You're either uneducated, you're lazy, or if you want better answers, ask better questions. One of those type things, right? But when you operate from a place of extreme ownership, you're always the captain of the ship. And you don't take, I love, Amber Parker said it the other day. She said something, she was being interviewed on Pam Sider's podcast. And she said, I don't take credit for people's success and I don't take credit for their failure. I don't know, something like that. But like, you know, it's never because of you. But what I'm saying is that when you're in full control, you always know what direction you're going in.
Yep. And I think that it's just like the ownership piece is just so important, you guys, like, because you've heard me say it before, but if you see successful people, they're not successful in just one area. They're successful in their marriage. They're typically successful in how they manage their finances, not just in making income, but keeping income. They're successful. And if you think about it, you're like, holy crap, they have the habits that it takes to be successful. They have the habits to consistently do self-development, the habits to consistently be disciplined, even if they're not naturally a disciplined person. Okay. But stop letting who you think you are be your excuse for not being better. That is crap too. Okay. I'm so sick of people doing that because I used to do it. Oh, I'm just not a disciplined person. You know how many times I've told myself that? Oh, I'm just not disciplined. Is that an excuse for me not to be disciplined in my business? No. Would you think I'm going to tell my kids when they have to be in debt for school that I'm going to be like, sorry, babe, you just wasn't disciplined, so you have to pay for college yourself? No, that's not okay. Okay. Let me ask you this. How do you effectively use your red when you feel like your team isn't red or can't receive it? Maybe.
Well, I did buy this. This helps a lot. So
I mean, it looks good too.
Listen, I don't think girls should wear hats, but I like, I look like a snack wearing this, y'all. So what I will say,
giving him sister or something.
What I will say is that, wait, what was the question again?
How do you effectively use your red? Because I think there's such strength to being a red, but I know that I've acted as a bad red, and I'm sure other people who are red have done the same. But how do you use like just being dominant, being, you know, so driven to not run over people, but learn how to use that effectively?
So what I will say, sorry, I washed my face like 25,000 hours ago. It feels like my eyes are all greased up now. So what I will say is, again, the color personality has totally changed me as a human. It's something that I have a relationship with it. Okay. And so for me, it's really important that I understand, like the tribe and who they are. That way I always know how to approach them. I always know how to come off. I know that I can be extremely direct with a red or a green. I know with the yellow or blue, I got to pull back a little bit, you know? And, but one thing I'm not afraid of being is, confrontational. I think we think of confrontation as a bad thing. I think that it's my job, duty, and obligation to, you know, if people join me, they trusted me. It is my job to be direct with them. It is you did not join me to be my friend. You joined me because you trust me to help you. You saw what I could do and you saw what I could do for others. And you trusted me enough to join me that I'm going to do that for you too. And I'm doing you a disservice if I am not guiding you there. And that comes at a price of your feelings sometimes, right? But of course, what I will say this is I'm not afraid of holding the bar, but I'm also not afraid of pulling back when I need to. So we have and anyone in the tribe can correct me if I'm wrong. If they're like, Ashleigh's lying, you get in the chat and you tell them wrong. We have, if you're a Ruby and above, it is a requirement for you to be in leadership that you run an 80BB auto ship. And I do not care what happens in your life. I've heard it all. I've heard my animal died. I've heard my spouse is in the hospital. Don't care. You don't run it. You getting kicked out the first of the month. I will not bend. It's a non-negotiable. And because my red is so strong, and listen, I've got people that have been pissed off at me. I've got people that have stopped talking to me because of it. And they came back. They always come full circle. Okay. Mama Mayfield could be a little tough, but they come full circle. And I won't let you back in until it's ran. So if you didn't, I had someone, I'm not going to say any names in case they're on, but I had someone that didn't run it in May. They got removed from everything. And they just told me the other day, they said, it ran. I logged into eSuite. I verified it ran, and I popped them back in all the leadership stuff. I will not bend. And you want to know what? That seems really tough as a red. And if you're not a red, it's probably really hard, other than maybe a green, because greens are like, well, that's the rules, right? But I will not bend as a red, because I have a bar. And do you know what you think might repel people that actually makes my tribe trust me? I am a woman of my word. Now, sometimes my blue gets a little cray, all right? But my red, when I say this is the line, I mean the line. And this is what I stand for, because I care about you and your business enough that I'm not going to let you do that to yourself. And I'm sure as crap not going to put you in a position of leadership where people think like, oh, I'm going to follow her. Oh, she doesn't run an auto ship consistently. Okay, I don't have to then, right? And so when it comes to being a red, I think like I have a line that I am not afraid to uphold. I'm not afraid to set the bar high. And that starts with me. Okay. That starts with me first and foremost. Second, as a red, I'm also not afraid to eat crow. I am not afraid to apologize when I need to apologize, because I don't always call the right shots, but I trust, and again, my tribe is on here. They can chime in anytime. I truly believe I have the trust of my tribe. Anyone who's been around the block, if they're brand new, they probably don't trust me. They probably think I'm crazy. Okay. Like I tell a new distributor this afternoon, I launched her. I was like, for the love, she's a yellow green. I said, for the love, girl, I'm polar opposite as you. Don't watch my Facebook Live until you're like 30 days in. Okay. I will scare you. But I think they know that they can trust. If I lead them off a cliff, they know I'll be at the bottom, picking all of them back up and redirecting. I'm always present. And I think it doesn't matter how hard you are on someone. I think there's tactical ways to do it. Clearly, I try not to. This is something I'm still learning through. I do my best not to be strong through text with certain color personalities. Now, if I know I can and I'm in a crunch, I say, listen, I'm going to shoot straight. That's why, like, when I'm on a Zoom, I'll be like, Ashleigh, Ashleigh, Ashleigh. And then when I flip to leader, I say, now I'm going to put my red hat on. And I might not always have my Mario near me, spitting fire, but I have learned to set myself up, and I ask permission. Before I came on today, I said, Kelsey, are you giving me permission to show up as Ashleigh Mayfield? I ask every single person, because I will not be a puppet on a string. First off, you know what you getting when Mayfield's in the house, okay? Like, and if you're new to the Mayfield show, I apologize, okay? Like, hello. Just, follow me, just enjoy, eat some popcorn. But you know what you're getting. And I think that, like, I've learned to do things because I failed a ton. I learned not everyone likes Ashleigh Mayfield, and I got to be okay with that. I learned that I rub some people the wrong way. I got to be okay with that. I've got top leaders in the company that probably wouldn't spit on me if I was on fire. I got to be okay with that, right? I got to continue to be me from Ashleigh Mayfield. But when it comes to the tribe, I got to put that yellow hat on, man. I got to be whatever they need me to be. If they need me to be green, y'all, I'm negative 37% green. I got to figure it out. That's my job. They need me to be blue. But I got to know their personality colors as well to be able to speak to them. I just got off launching a girl, like I said, yellow, green. I read her up and down, and she was like, wow, like, yes, yeah. You know what I mean? She might be on here right now. Shout out Raylan. But like, I know her. And when you know your people that well, when you can speak and you can call their personality, they trust you. And so I'm not afraid to like have that confrontation, be direct. Now, again, there's ways you do it and ways you don't. You don't want to like ream someone out through text when you're a red, because they like need to hear your voice and feel your energy. So if I got to go in, you got to do the sandwich. You got to be like, oh, you're so awesome. So you really sucked this week, but we're going to do it, girl. You got to sandwich it in. You got to do the Jesus pastor thing. Okay. Like sometimes I got to do that. 9 times out of 10, if I really got to go in with someone, I'm getting on a Zoom, like, hey, can we Zoom? Or if someone's frustrated with me, let's Zoom about it. I'm going to let you vent. Dude, I know that I'm a cluster sometimes. Or I'm sending voice memos. If I can't Zoom, I'm sending, because I need them to hear my heart. Now I'm going to shoot straight with you. And someone even said, they're like, Ashleigh, how can you like slice me in half, but then you bear hug me? I'm like, I don't know. I failed a ton. I've run a ton of people off, but I think reds have an amazing, phenomenal superpower. I think the problem is we expect everyone to match our pace. And we get frustrated with people easily because we have a natural fire and we expect other people to have that. But notice in both of those scenarios, those two things that frustrate us, people matching our pace and people matching our vision and fire. Notice I said expectation. And when you start having an expectation of people, you're really boxing them and you're not honoring how God made them. And so I think it's so important, even as a red, that you allow people and give them permission to show up as God has called them to show up. And a good leader will always go down to their people and not expect people to come up on their level. You got to go down to your people.
I love that. And like one thing that I always try to do, number one, is lead with what's in it for them. It has to be
their vision,
what's in it for them. You can't say, this is what you need to do for me. And that has to come from you checking your heart first. And I've had to do this a lot of times. And then also the other thing is always seek to understand before trying to seek to be understood. Because so often, I made that mistake so many times as a red, is I was like, I need you to understand where I'm coming from. But I wasn't even trying to listen to where they were coming from. And so that
I would say I probably struggle with that a little bit. But one thing that I've learned, and it was more my blue, is I learned to ask questions. So even because I'll look at a situation, guys, my husband is a red green. And so he's very logical. I'm very emotional. And I'll be like, oh, I know why she said that. Like, I've convinced myself of stories before. And I'm like, oh, I know why a heifer said this, because boom, 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 boom. And but guys, I swore up and down I was right, but I was dead wrong. And so I've learned, even if I think that I know the bird's eye view, because that's one of my strengths as a red, I try and do my best to ask questions. Even if I'm like biting my lip, I try to ask questions first to affirm what scent I'm on, what scent my little hound dog is tracking down. And then I could be like, okay, that's why. Or I could be like, oh, I was so dead wrong. Right? So I have had to teach myself to ask questions before I just come in and slice and dice. And it's still hard. And sometimes I jump the gun a little bit today.
Yeah, it is. It's hard. It's hard. But it doesn't, it's the skill that it will become a habit. I know it has definitely become more of a habit for me. Okay. So there's questions I didn't get to, which is sad. Womp womp. But I just want you to kind of close out with like, what's on your heart? Like, what is something that you feel like, if where people are at is they feel like, I'm so close and I'm so far away. I see it in my head, but I don't see it on the paper. What would you say to somebody that feels that way right now?
Oh my gosh, Kelsey, how many times have you felt that way? I think every rank we have felt that way, right? I'm on like
4 days before I promoted to ambassador, I was like, oh God.
So here's the deal, you guys. My husband really brought me some eye-opening, about this. Every time you promote, you're the furthest away from the next promotion. Ain't that a thing? The highlight of your business when you promote, don't matter if it's executive, Ruby, ambassador, you're the furthest point away from the next promotion. And so, what I would tell you guys, is when I got into this business, as red as I am, I was very blue, and I am still working through a scarcity mindset. I'm still working to believe I can have abundance, you guys. I'm making the most money my family's ever made. And here's the deal. You got to know what you're running towards. Is there anyone, like, I want you to drop, I don't even know what number we're on, drop a 1 if you know what you're running towards, like you have a clear vision. Drop a 2 if you know what you're running from, because there's only those kind of visions. I didn't know what I was running towards, you guys, but I sure as crap knew what I was running from. I was running from being in debt. I was running from parents divorced. I was running from parents shaming me. I was running from growing up in a trailer. I was running from living credit card to credit card, check to check. I was running from loans, being in debt collection. I was running from working 50 to 60 hours a week, being paid 40. Tell me that is not a mother trucking scam. I don't know what is. I'm literally working a full-time job, and my full-time jobs require me almost to work a part-time job, but I'm only getting paid for the full-time. I was running from, because I was the manager that lived closest to the store, I had to close the store 3 nights a week. What kind of bullcrap is that? Guys, I sure as crap knew what I was running from. And if you are on here right now, you better get a vision. And you don't have to know what you're running towards. But the greatest thing that ever happened to me was last March. I had a girl who was killing it in Chicago. Shout out Michelle. And I flew up there for the weekend to be with her. And on the way home, Jason was like, look, he's a lot more logical than me. Like, he my rock. And he was like, look, don't listen to nothing. Don't buy a movie. Like, you just sit and think. which is really hard for me to do. But he's like, sit and think and just process, like, what do you want? You guys, I couldn't even write anything down. Couldn't write a, I was like, I don't know what I want. I got to see it to know what I want. I'm very innovative. I'm not super creative. Like, I'm very innovative, right? I see what other people have and I'm like, oh, I could do that better. Oh, I could take this and make it a little bit better, or do it Ashleigh Mayfield, right? But I didn't know because I've never had it. And so why even window shop when you can't pay for it? That's my mindset. But you guys, I had to make a list of everything I didn't want. Okay, so what do you, every single one of you right now, if you close your eyes, you could probably give me 15 things you don't like. And I just told my husband yesterday when I was flying home, or I don't know what day it was, Saturday, I don't know. But I was like, I could tell you quickly what I don't like and what I don't want more than what I like and what I want. Guys, that's in every area of my life. Y'all, that's in my sex life. I'm going to shoot straight with y'all. We family now. I'm quick to be like, oh, I don't like that. But I can't tell them what I like. It's because part of me, maybe I have some shame of saying what I want. Maybe I'm embarrassed. Maybe I've had a hard time with this top 20 retreat going to Costa Rica because I'm like, what if I give it all I got and I'm number 21? Ain't that a B? I'd rather miss it by a long shot than miss it by a little millimeter, okay? But guys, I wrote down and I started thinking around, okay, what around my house do I not like? I don't like that I have a yard that my kids can't go play in because I freaking live in Florida and there's state endangered tortoises that live in my grass. And when you go and walk outside in the backyard, you darn near break your ankles. Okay, so I want a house that has a nice yard. Boom. I took what I didn't like and I flipped it. I don't like that my husband says I can't eat sushi whenever I want. Okay, that's something I don't like, so now I got to flip it. Okay, so I don't like that I don't have a budget. I want a $200 sushi budget every single month. Bam. I got something that I want, which, by the way, that sign right there says do it for the sushi because I'm convinced that's one of the things that help us go debt-free. I love my sushi. But you have to be able to have that vision, you guys. And if you're at a place right now where it seems so far away, it seems, listen, what do you want? You got to know what you want. You got to know what you're running towards. You got to know what you're running from. And you got to realize that you felt the same way about ruby. You felt the same way about emerald. You felt the same way about diamond. It is nothing. But what you put your mind to, where focus goes, energy flows. So are you around a ton of people that are negative, or are you around the people that are poor in belief and like, freaking girl, 5,000 volume, 5,000. You want to stop 5,000 from taking you double. You want to stop 5,000 from taking you triple. You want to stop 15,000 from taking you XYZ. You got to get around people that have bigger vision, bigger faith, bigger beliefs. And not someone that's like astronomically ahead of you. Okay, if you're on here and you're a ruby, Kelsey ain't your accountability partner. That's way too, you got to go find a diamond or you got to go find a strong emerald, right? But you got to find those people and you got to position yourself in a way. But guys, there's nothing you can't do. And I think I shared this one time, Kelsey, when we were on a Zoom together. The wolf at the top of the mountain is never as hungry as the wolf climbing the mountain. Always be the wolf that climbs the mountain. When you're always climbing, you're always hungry. I'm never satisfied. It's like the blessing and the curse that's on the inside of me. I saw one of my checks a few months ago and I just start crying. Jason's like, I literally don't know how to handle this right now. You have a 2 in front of your paycheck and you're crying like 20,000 plus. Okay. And he's like, you're crying. And I was like, it's just not enough. I'm not impacting enough people. I'm not changing enough lives. Like, I was pissed. That's just part of like the drive in me. And I'll never apologize for that. I love that I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. It's never enough. I celebrated ambassador in January 2017. When I went ambassador, my inner circle was like, did you cry? I sent a selfie. I said, no, baby, I already knew I was going to be ambassador. Now I'm thinking black diamond. And when I get black diamond, because don't get it twisted, it's coming, baby, because my vision is there. When I get black diamond, you think I'm going to cry? No, because I already knew it was coming. I know it's coming. It's a matter of when. I just need time to catch up. So if what's around your environment? What's around your mindset? Do you have your goals in front of you? Do you have signs above you that say $100,000 a month? Do you have a sign I'm looking at that says Black Diamond Tribe? I am a Black Diamond Tribe. I have a Black Diamond Tribe. Do you have on your phone? It says right here, I get to be Black Diamond. It's everywhere. It's inundated. It's right next to my bed. This same sign is right next to my bed. I look at it every morning. How bad do you want it? You can sit here, woe is me. I'm 3 distributors way, or you could be like, you know what? It's freaking game on. I have an amazing business. People want what I have to offer. My capacity is great. There's nothing that I can't do. Every single person I talk to is a potential. And I talk with authority because I know where I'm going, because I know where I come from. And I'm never going back to debt. I'm never going back to a 9-to-5 that, not even a 9-to-5, like a 9-to-7 that only wants to pay me $40,000. Absolutely not. I am Ashleigh Mother Truckin' Mayfield, and I get everything that I want. And when you operate in that mindset, and when you become the person your results require, and when you take yourself in your mind, if you've never watched the Facebook Live I've done, and y'all just gonna hang tight. It's 11 o'clock my time, and we just getting started, baby. Okay? But listen, the disposition comes before the position. So you decide right now, it's June 17th. How are you gonna wake up? Are you gonna wake up, woe is me, I can't do it? Then freaking quit now. Throw in the towel now. Or are you going to say, you know what? I don't care if it's 11:59. I'm going to go all in because I'm worth it. And you know what? I'm not even going to give up. When it's July 1st, if I don't hit my goal, I'm going to hit the ground running. Because if you have not woken up yet, if you just in the last 30 days, I'm sorry, I'm about to get real heated. Okay, let me just go ahead and put this on real quick. But guys, if you don't get it twisted, July 1st starts now. August 1st starts now. How bad do you want to eat at Christmas? Freaking starts now. Get your act in gear. You want to go back to that 9-to-5 that you're pissing and moaning and crying about? You want to go back to the things that you're running from? Well, you better get to work. And it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be simple. And you're going to fail a lot. And you're going to have a lot of people quit on you, and you're going to cry now. So buckle up, boo-boo. But you're strong. You're stronger than you know. So get to work. Stop lying to yourself. Stop convincing yourself. Stop patting yourself on the back prematurely. Oh, I've got a customer that's going to enroll Friday. Ooh, I don't freaking care. I've had their credit card number and I've had their social. And they've texted me at 2 a.m. saying, don't do it. Because I was waiting until 10 a.m. to run it. Stop celebrating premature. Oh, I've got 5 potentials. Doesn't mean jack diddly squat. Oh, I'm an emerald, but I'm charted double diamond. Who freaking cares? You're getting paid nothing on that potential. You're getting paid nothing on that. So start where you're at now. Take a step. Increase your territory. Increase your vision. Start looking yourself in the mirror and telling yourself what you're going to do. Because you've heard probably your entire life. If you're anything like me, you've heard your entire life what you can't do. And it is the dumbest reason ever. You're going to have people stand in your way. You're going to have opposition. You're going to have obstacles. You're going to have life stand in your way. It is the dumbest thing ever that you stand in your way. Do you realize how dumb that sounds? I stood in my way for 31 years. I will be a corpse before I ever stand in my way again. God has called me to greater. Jesus Christ has put greater vision. This is nothing. This $50,000 paycheck, nothing compared to what God wants to do in my life. But it's up to me. I choose. And every time I choose to stop, I disqualify myself. Get over your pity party. You might not be a victim, but you sure as crap have a victim mindset. Get over it. You choose. You choose to stop, you disqualify yourself, nobody else. I'm done.
I'm sweating because that was so good. I'm literally sweating. I'm like over here like, get it, speak, please. I'm seriously sweating. And I wear men's deodorant, so I shouldn't be doing that. So anyways, I am just so grateful that you hopped on. You spoke so much life, into me for sure, and into everybody else. But I just am going to close this out in prayer, and I'm so thankful for you, Ashleigh. I hope you know that. And it means a lot that you would take the time out of your Monday night to come hang with us. Tell Jason we said thank you for letting us borrow you. And we're just going to close out in prayer. I'm still sweating, but it's fine. Dear Jesus, thank you so much for giving us this time of fellowship, giving us this time of inspiration, giving us this time to just kind of come together and speak on the truths that we know that you've put in our hearts and the truths that you've really given us. And so I just want to say thank you so much for Ashleigh, and we ask you to bless her business. I want to say thank you for giving her just the passionate, bold heart that she has, and just continue to help her business and her team grow. I want to ask you bless every single person that's on this Zoom. Just give them reassurance that they're showing up and that gives you room to show out. And we always know that where we ask, you will come. And we just want you to know that we trust you fully, and your plan is always greater than our plan. And that we know that this abundant life that you have planned for us is waiting for us on the other side of our faith. In your name we pray. Amen. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Bye, guys.